Alright, so if you followed me for any length of time, you know I'm an audio person. One of the questions that I get on occasion is, why do you continue to use something like the Samson Q2U when you have a better microphone? And really, it just comes down to one thing, and that's that word right there, context. And most contexts, the number one thing I'm using to record with and in is OBS, and it's for something like Twitch, which doesn't require a terrible lot. You don't really need the best state-of-the-art equipment to do anything on Twitch. You could probably get away with using most things. In fact, even for YouTube, I've seen half a dozen people that are making hundreds, millions of views right now using the Blue Yeti. So clearly it's not an indicator of quality. There's not always the immediate trade-off. You're not always going to get the Shure SM7B and immediately be labeled a professional because you're using something that everybody else happens to have. Like, it's just not how it works. It's not like you have the Shure SM7B and suddenly you're Joe Rogan. But anyway, I thought it'd be really cool to compare these two, both the Samson Q2U and the Rode NT-1, back to back, so you can hear there's not really that much of a difference between either of them. I got a few things. I think the biggest one I'm probably going to use and utilize is probably the snippet from the Telltale Heart. Also, I can just speak freely too and go back and forth between the two of them. But anyway, so here's what the Rode NT-1 sounds like on this bit of text, and then I'll swap over. You'll be able to hear the QT right behind it. Now, this is the point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing. But you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded. With what caution. With what foresight. With what dissimulation I went to work. I was never kinder to the old man than during the week before I killed him. Now, this is the point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing. But you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded. With what caution. With what foresight. With what dissimulation I went to work. I was never kinder to the old man than during the week before I killed him. So you could probably even tell there. The difference between those two is pretty minimal. Die, monster. You don't belong in this world. Die, monster. You don't belong in this world. Oh, I said on. Hold on. Die, monster. You don't belong in this world. Die, monster. You don't belong in this world. And then if you're doing Dracula. It was not by my hand that I am once again given flesh. It is not by my hand that I am once again given flesh. I was called here by humans who wish to pay me tribute. I was called here by humans who wish to pay me tribute. I was called here by humans who wish to pay me tribute. So again, pretty straightforward. Still pretty minimal sound difference-wise. There was one track I wanted to play song-wise. At least that there's something else besides just a vocal read comparison. But since most of what you're going to be doing on Twitch anyway is talking, this will at least give you a pretty good baseline of what to look for. So I'm going to hit this chorus twice, once with the Rode and then again with the Samson.
Brightest smile in this town, probably.
And if you're ever feeling down, I'm on my way. Tell me now if you ever need someone to stay the night. Tell me now if you ever need some help, someone when it's cold out. And if you're ever feeling down, I'm on my way. Tell me now if you ever need someone to stay the night. Tell me now if you ever need some help, someone when it's cold out. Okay, so all that being said, hopefully I've made some sort of concrete case for you to make a more informed decision when you go to buy a microphone. Context is important. If you're streaming on Twitch, if you're making videos for YouTube, it doesn't have to be the best. I know plenty of people that use a Blue Yeti. I don't know. They're not my brand. I'm not a particular fan of their sound, and I feel like it's not a brand problem so much as it's an operator issue. Like, I feel like a lot of Yeti products kind of have this idea of just like, oh, it's audio equipment, set it and forget it. But like, that's the last thing you need to do on their stuff because they give you too many controls. Like, they give you what is it, like not a binaural. Yeah, they've got a bidirectional setting or omnidirectional like microphone setting. It's like sometimes you just don't need that stuff, especially if you're recording solo and you're recording in like a regular space. So just keep that in mind. There are diminishing returns. One of these is definitely a third of the cost of the other. Does the sound like it should be that much more in terms of quality? Like, you decide that for yourself. Is this worth, or is this worth spending the kind of money you would have to in order to get it? Because you're not just looking at buying a condenser. You're looking at buying a condenser and an interface and cables. Whereas at least with the Samson Q2U, it's just a USB cable. That's it. That's all. That's all you need is a USB cable for it to sound and do exactly what you need it to. And there's even a headphone jack on it. So if you're having to extend it to God knows where, you can run a 3.5 millimeter cable off of it, and then boom, you're in business. Like, you have, headphones and mic right there in one package. It's hard to beat, man. I don't know. If you found this useful or if you found it helpful, like, comment. Don't subscribe because I don't know how often I'm going to make videos, but, if this is something you found beneficial, even something as simple as somebody saying, hey, consider the context before you go and spend $400 or $500 or however much in terms of money. Consider that before you drop that kind of money on something like a microphone, when it could be better spent on, say, like acoustic paneling or sound dampening or a better recording space or a better computer or any number of other things. Like, your microphone should be like the lowest on that list of priorities if it's not already. But yeah, hopefully that helps.
Have you heard the story of Darth Plagueis? The tragedy of Darth Plagueis.
It's tragic.
Dude, I gotta tell you, on a completely side topic related directly to that scene, there's that shit, and I'm sure you've seen it. It's behind the scenes footage of, okay, what's the main chick? Elena from Vampire Diaries? Somebody was in the middle of giving her a head massage.
I know what you're talking about.
That is fucking wild, but one of the comments was the gif of Anakin saying, "How does one learn this technique?" And then the one underneath of it was "not from a Jedi." I was like, oh, this is great. This is great. Nina Dobrev. Yeah, thank you,
Nina Dobrev.
Dude, that shit had me blue. I could not stop laughing.